2 minutes. Now we are coming to one of the most central points of this interview. I'm going to introduce you to somebody I've only met 9 years ago, 9 years ago. And this film really been such a big dream for us. And now to see it actually happening, it's very difficult to comprehend. But it's actually happening, and the man behind the idea, the screenplay, the direction, the whole thing, Martin Donovan. Yay! Martin!
What are you doing?
Well, I always told you we're going to have, let me do a big kiss, my little brother. So, Martin, such a surprise to see you.
So
Very
nice
nice
to see you.
Thank you. Now, just relax.
Stop touching me and I'll relax immediately.
Unbelievable. Did you care for some coffee too?
No, thank you.
Well, actually, Martin told me he only has 2 minutes, so it's very difficult to tell all this wonderful background to the whole thing. What would you like to talk about tonight?
Nothing in particular.
Right. So I better ask you, what shall I ask you about? How did you come about to make this film, Martin?
Out of desperation, I think. I was doing another one, which collapsed after the third time, for the 5th year running.
Yeah.
And this came out of the blue, in very strange circumstances. It got together very quickly. I suppose I got together with the right kind of people that helped me a great deal. And I had written this screenplay like 6 or 7 years ago, and it was in Italian, so I had to make a very quick translation into English and adapt it. And since then up to today, it's only 4 months, so it was sold pretty quickly.
It's unbelievable. I must add to the audiences here, I remember very well, as we happen to be good friends, when the thriller has, well, the finance and all the little problems around it collapse, and how quick you came up with this idea of Pichirica, how quick the whole thing worked. And I'll never forget the day you came to our lounge. There were a few people sitting. I can't remember if Michel Mercier or other people were sitting. The way you just stood there up and you said, listen, this is going to be my next film. And you described it. I could actually visualize the way you acted all the parts, if you remember.
Well, you don't want me to do that now, do
No,
you?
no. But it was unbelievable. You stood there and we said, Martin, this is an unbelievable story.
Right.
And a matter of weeks, I can't even remember if it was weeks
Yeah, no,
after
but
this,
it was literally
one
2
phone
months.
call and I went away for some work. And when I come back, they said, there is a film. I said, no, it can't be true. It was too quick.
Yes.
And when we actually arrived there for the first couple of days, we said, I can't believe it. And we're actually here doing this wonderful film with the best possible company anybody could ever wished
Right,
for.
that's absolutely true.
How do you feel about this?
That's
Yeah.
probably the most important thing about this film. It happens so rarely that you can have the luxury of having the people that you really want to have. There is no outside pressure. I chose the actors that I wanted to use, people that I like and admire, friends who are playing parts not because they are friends, but because they are talented, brilliant people. And this is a fantastic opportunity to use all the things we had to offer together. That's very rare because in general distribution companies will impose names. They will expect you to have what is laughingly called box office names and things like that. And I think that lack of pressure has helped a great deal for what this extraordinary filming on location has been about. It's been a constant party. Everybody getting along with everybody else. Perfect harmony. A great deal of work. Very exciting.
Actually, I must add, being such a small village here, the film actually taken over the village, the people, everybody seems so involved and
It's very involved.
so much part of it. It's just unbelievable.
Yes.
Because I see here that people, the only thing they remember here since the last, well, to these people in this village seem Ryan's daughter, the last film they did here. This is the only thing they remember about their history. It seems to be part of their history, more important than the last 2 wars or everything.
Ryan's daughter took 2 years to make, to finalize. It was a multi-million-dollar picture. So
Like,
he gave a lot of work to a lot of people for a very long period of time. So obviously they remember it with affection.
Would you say, I know it's we're not spending the same kind of money, but What would Ryan's Daughter and State of Wonder could have had in common?
Very little. Ryan's Daughter took 2 years to make. Us, our film, 4 weeks, for instance. The pre-production of Ryan's Daughter was another 2 years. In our case, was 2 weeks. No, see, there's not a lot of things in common.
No, not really. Well, what else? Martin, once this film, first of all, when it's, well, I know we kept telling everybody, but are you really expecting to release it for Christmas? I mean, is it...
Hopefully, yes. In the UK, we are supposed to deliver what they call the ansapling, the final copy, on the first week December, because there is a possibility that the opening of the film will be on the week previous to Christmas, which is an ideal time for opening films like this one.
Yeah. Are you coming with me to Cannes to sell the film? I suggested myself to Chris Dillinger. I said, I must go, kill them. I think
No comments.
No Tell me, Martin, very quick. I know you're a very busy man, very much in demand, and everybody wants to be with you, around you as such an important man here. The question is, do you, once this takes off, and I honestly pray and hope it will, and I believe it will, what is your plans? What do you see yourself doing? I know you have lots of offers start to pour since you started in this film. Would you like to talk about that?
Well, the most important thing is that Close Enemy, who's a film that collapsed 3 times, now is being materialized again, and the same people who are financing this film have offered me to do it at the end of the year. And then the other thing that is, again, mind-boggling is that I've been offered to direct Evita, the film, in March. And we're in the middle of the negotiations.
Excuse me now, apropos Evita, aren't you very, very flattered to have been offered to direct it?
I don't know,
if you
because
know the line of
flattered,
people,
perhaps in a way, yes, but I know that they called me to do it because they ran out of directors. I mean, everybody's been offered that, from Ken Russell to Michael Apted, Richard Attenborough, and then a lot of people that you never heard of, like me. And
I've heard of you,
well, you and my mother too, but not many other people.
but very important.
And the fact that I was opening with starting to do a film in very strange circumstances, with a possibility of a success, and the fact that I'm Argentinian, thought that it was sort of gimmicky. Yes, I would like to. We've had a couple of discussions already, and we are meeting in London in 2 weeks' time. And if it happens, it will be great.
How can you explain the fact that this film isn't taking off? Why?
What film?
Evita. I mean, there's money, there's apparently lots of things around it. What's happening? What's wrong about it?
Well,
Why?
there is too many wrong things about it. I'm not revealing any
No.
secrets.
You can't.
They have a script, as far as I'm concerned, who is unworkable. It's not a film. It's an adaptation from a theatrical experience who wouldn't translate properly into film. That's one of the major reasons.
So is this something you would, if you did
Oh, yes.
to agree to direct?
Well, if I had to direct that script, I wouldn't know where to start. I have told them, for instance, they want to film the whole thing in Mexico.
Yeah.
And for anyone who has ever been in Buenos Aires, Argentina,
Yes.
Mexico will never pass for Buenos Aires. They are totally and utterly different cities. And I said that if I did it, I would like to do it in Barcelona, in Spain, or in Paris, because Buenos Aires is a copy of Paris. I mean, all the buildings and boulevards and streets are a replica of what Paris was in the 40s. So that would be convincing. Mexico is not. That's one thing. What was your question?
No, the question was, I mean, would you adopt the script? I mean,
Oh,
would you
yes.
have to
Well,
change
if
it
it's
or
not me
what way out?
personally, I think that a proper adaptation should be done. It's a rock opera that puts you a lot of limitations. But I think that somebody like, I have suggested, Trevor Griffith,
Yeah.
would be perfect to do more than a rock opera in huge 70 millimeters and stereo sound. The story of a woman,
Yeah.
sang as an opera, fine, but the story of a woman to make an emphasis, a stronger emphasis on the characters rather than what's around it, the color, etc.
I mean, I'm sure as an Argentinian, you know exactly where Evita was, and you possibly suffered enough for her existence or
That's a
history.
very dangerous thing to say.
Well, I don't
Maybe
mind.
I'm a Peronist and I hate that.
Possibly you are, but I know for a fact you're not. But doesn't matter. The fact is, who would you see being cast for such a difficult part? Because
Well, I think
she wasn't a beauty.
No.
She was very magnetic,
Yes,
attractive
she
woman.
was a striking kind of woman.
Can you think?
No, not offhand. I thought that maybe 15 years ago, Faye Dunaway would have been perfect for that if she could sing. I don't know if she can sing.
And
or
she's
not.
very fat now, I think. She's quite large for the part. I mean, Evita
Sorry,
was very...
Faye. Sorry, I don't know this
I'm
guy.
sorry,
You
Faye, but I mean...
know? This guy, I don't know
Yes,
him.
but I think you are, Faye, darling, we love you, but the fact is that Evita was relatively slim. I mean, you can't...
She had leukemia. She was
thin.
very thin.
Exactement, she was very thin. Well, Martin, the last question I have to you is, now that this film took off and you know very well that you can put things together with your wonderful team and friends, what is the likelihood of Close Enemy to come back to life?
Well, yes. I've been offered by the same. I think I've been through this before, but the financiers of this film have offered me to do Close Enemy, to follow this one up. And the wonderful thing about it, not only that finally it's going to be made, is that most of the people who are taking part in this film are going to be in that film again.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's the beginning of an idea that I had a long time ago, that is having a film actors repertory company, no? So that you can work all the time with the same people, etc. That is very valid, very good, and I'm sure it works beautifully.
That's it, Martin Donovan. It's been pleasure, big pleasure to talk to you. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you, Mike.
And I have the feeling you are on your way now. Up, up, up. Good luck to you. Thank you, Martin Donovan. Thank you.